And we're live, motherfuckers.
Hey, can I do it now?
Yeah, you can do it now.
Cool.
Let me do the Instagram live.
Yeah, let's get it going. Get the peeps. It's Friday. What up?
All right, Instagram is going live. It says checking connection. 3, 2, 1. You're live.
Right on. You know, I like this Alec. Well, I haven't had this Alec Bradley, but this Alec Bradley Pressando supposedly got best of the year that it came out with. I don't know what year that was. But it should be pretty good, except for I don't like the label because it's got a fucking football on it. And
It's got football?
well, that looks like a football lacing to me, does it not?
Yeah, a little bit.
Whatever that, if it's a football, it's fucking not a classy thing to put on a cigar, in my opinion.
What's wrong with football, bro?
It's American, not fucking top quality cigar material. You know what I mean? Nothing against America and America's new favorite pastime. But when I smoke a good quality cigar, especially a cigar that's, you know, supposedly the best of the year in the categories of all Cubans it's competing with and all that stuff, it'd be like, yeah, the best cigar of its year and the NFL. And please get your fucking leg hair off my leg hair. God damn it. I just went so red line so quick. God damn it. That was so annoying.
Yeah. Have you ever had these?
Yeah, no, I had one
did.
of those last weekend. Which one? What's it called again? New World?
The New World by AJ Fernandez.
Jeez. Did I forget how to cut a fucking cigar?
I don't know. Did you? Where's your lighter?
It seemed like I did there.
All right. Well, you know we don't have work on Tuesday.
Yeah, I do know, and I'm looking forward to it because I
think
have to
it's
get up early tomorrow.
I think it's the Korean Memorial Day.
Before we get going, I want to say thank you to Aurelie. She got me this awesome flask. You can see here as by way of saying thank you for when she came and visited. And had a good time, showed her a good time here in Seoul. A bunch of Seoul nightlife was to be had for her. You know, I think when she came here, I think she didn't expect it to be that great. Like maybe she just decided, like, Garrett, he's got a lot of charisma. You know, I'm sure whatever he's doing, it'll be fun. But I think she was sleeping on Korea, man.
I think a lot of people sleep on Korea.
She was sleeping on Korea, and I was trying to explain to her, I'm like, nah, this place is fucking awesome. You're going to love it.
Yeah. Most people don't know shit about South Korea.
And I knew she would love it, too, because she had fun she was telling me how awesome and amazing even shitty parts of China was. Because she was into, I mean, and she went to Cuba. She went to like Cuba by herself.
How'd she do that? You're allowed to do that as an American nowadays?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't ask her like the specifics of it, but I think she went by herself, and she said she got approached on like not like just a couple, like several, like almost nightly. I think it was several nightly occasions almost. People being like, "Hey, like girl, I'll get you a good place. We'll get you a lot of money. Want to be a prostitute? I'll make you a lot of money." You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Yeah, the way she described it, I'm just like,
So
Cuba sounds dope. I want to go. It doesn't seem like a place to bring like a fucking girlfriend. It seems like a shady kind of adventure still.
Well, that has its own charm.
It has its charm, like if you're that kind of like a person like I think we are, who's like we don't need it to be like fucking phenomenal, like super nice resorts and shit to have a good time.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who go to Southeast Asia for that exact reason. Especially, I mean, certain parts of Thailand are like really nice, but certain parts of Thailand are really, you know, kind of run down and old and, you know, not exactly nice. But also that's what makes it awesome. Same thing with Vietnam, man. I've been to Vietnam twice, and it's awesome. I love Vietnam.
This shit is good. This shit is fucking...
You're going to have to let me try it.
This shit's delicious. And thank you, Aurelie. I'm drinking some Johnny Walker Black Label out of this flask. I poured this last weekend when we went screen golfing, and I didn't finish it.
Screen golf. If you've never been, You should try it.
We should push this out of my face.
Screen golf is a damn good time. What you been doing? What'd you do Sunday? You missed out, by the way. On Sunday,
I was up fucking all night Saturday night.
what'd you do Saturday night? What did I do?
Remember
Saturday?
we went out? We went out to Club Soap.
Yeah.
And then I got fucking trashed.
Did you stay out later than me?
Oh, yeah.
Where did you guys go afterwards?
We went to a whole nother bar.
Oh, yeah. Lily and I just went home.
Fuck. Jesus, just straight inhaled that.
Some good smoke off the foot.
But yeah, I slept in fucking Sunday. I slept in till I think like fucking 2 o'clock.
Till 2 p.m.
Yeah, like 2 p.m. is what I like when I got out of bed.
As you do. Yeah. And if people don't know this, in Korea there's no last call or anything like that. You can, like, Chris is my roommate. He lives here in Korea with me, obviously, and he's been here 5 years. And he was telling me the best haircut he ever got was at 10 o'clock in the morning, after all night of clubbing.
What made it so great?
He just been out all night long clubbing, and then he comes out of the club at 10 and is like, "Oh, I need a haircut." And then so he like sits down.
Dude, what a productive cat.
Yeah.
Doing normal Sunday chores with
10 in the morning after clubbing all night. He's like, "I just sobered up, and but I was really tired." And then like they give me this nice scalp massage, and he's just like, "This is nice,"
Yeah, Korean. Yeah, that is nice.
So
that's one thing I miss about my current barber. He's a bad dude, like a bad motherfucker when it comes to cutting hair. But he's like this old guy who used to cut hair, I guess, in the States. I don't know where, because his English is not that great.
it doesn't have to be, man.
But get your fucking leg hair off of my legs. Why are you sitting like fucking child's pose yoga, like spread eagle?
This is how I always sit.
Not when we have a guest.
This is my natural way of sitting.
Dude,
I'm not going to apologize.
I'm going to tickle your fucking leg hair.
Do it, bro. I'm not homophobic.
All right, I'm not going to do that. Was a bluff.
But
anyways, my barber...
Haircuts.
God, it's 0 to 100 whenever your fucking leg hair start tickling mine.
A race car in the red. And you don't want to have a race car in the red.
Well, yeah, my guy, he could cut some hair, and he knows all the Western styles, so he gets like the fade going. I've already need to touch up probably in like a few days, but he gets the fades proper, and he's got a massage chair that you could chill in if he's cutting someone else's hair. Dude, the amount of engineering that goes into one of those massage chairs is mind-blowing.
I've seen them. I've never used one.
Dude, you sit in this thing, and it looks like a normal chair, and then you get inside of it, and you're just like, I was so far from the truth of what this thing is. There's got to be like 100 motors on the inside of this thing. Like,
the chairs are massive.
Yeah, they're huge.
And you've put your entire body into it.
Yeah, so you don't just sit on it. You, like, fit into it. Like, you put your hands inside the arms, and you put your legs inside some, like, cup things.
Yeah.
But I'm expecting there to be, like, some ball-ish type things rubbing into your back. It's not just that. They got like air compression chambers that like press into your arms to like hold you in place as it like stretches your fucking back out as it's rolling these things up. Like, so much is happening. It's insane. You hear like 100 motors going off. Like, it's like filling up with air. It's decompressing with air. It's filling up with air. It's decompressing. It's like squeezing your feet and pushing your feet into the massage balls that's on the feet pads. And then it's like lengthening you.
I gotta try.
It's mind blowing. The only thing I wish, and maybe it's just a setting issue, is it spent an odd amount of time on my ass. I'm just like, this chair is like fucking molesting me right now, and I'm like, my ass wasn't that tight, dude.
Was it focusing on the glutes, or was it focusing on the asshole?
It wasn't getting on the asshole. I would have paid extra if I'm not a complete asshole, but.
see where I'd like to take it.
No, but it was like spending so much time, massaging my ass. I'm just like, that's not what's fucking like. That's not what's tight. Like, and I think for most people, I've never heard someone say, "Oh, my ass is so tight." I've heard
After leg day, maybe.
I've heard him say like my hips are tight or my back is all fucked up or maybe my legs or my calves or something. What are you pointing at?
Do you want to get the fan and bring it closer? Because this blowing.
You just keep like
I know because I don't want to derail you, but the fan's over there. Can you bring it over here?
there's not a plug, but I'll try to get closer.
Yeah. Anyway, what up, Josh? Peace, homie. Josh is a friend of ours from Korea. He's in. Where are you in? Philippines right now, Josh?
Close that window because that's like probably blowing in our face. And also, just don't worry about it.
Yeah. Where's he at?
He's in Burkow or some shit.
Oh, he's in Hanoi now. Oh, so he was in the Philippines. Now Josh is in Hanoi. I've been to Hanoi. If you want to check out my Hanoi video on the YouTubes, Sticks and Stories, 30 hours.
You sneaky motherfucker.
See that plug, motherfuckers? I'm sneaky.
Hey, Josh, could you? I'm feeling a little neglected. I need to get some more Josh deep in thought photos on Instagram. Just you know how I like it. Just you stare.
Yeah.
I could see the whole scene. He's just like, hey, girlfriend, like, could you just take one of like me? Like staring off, like deep in thought.
Deep in thought. Maybe put some poetry.
Like we got like 30 yesterday, but like like a few more. Like I didn't. This palm tree is a special palm tree.
Yeah, Josh he's quite the expert with the posing while deep in mental concentration with a fucking beach in the background.
But we also not just. I know you're a deep thinker, Josh, but we do need to also get some front shots. I mean, your handsome face. We need to show some producers.
Yeah, no, you're so mysterious. We never get the full frontal.
Yeah, what are you thinking? Also, take some clothes off.
Yeah,
you're always teasing.
You're on the beach, man. Show some skin.
Josh is a good friend. He was in episode 1.
He's like my belly, though. Well, you got to work on that, man.
Was he in episode 1 or episode 2?
Yeah, episode 2. Guys. Josh, were you in 1 or 2? Do you remember? I think you were in episode 1. Or maybe it was 2. I don't know, but the War on Light Beer, that was an epic moment.
Yeah, the War on Light Beer was good, courtesy of Josh. If you want to see his episode, check it out. It's on our channel. Yeah, I got to say, this is a good fucking cigar. My barber can cut some hair. I totally don't forget where we're at. Get your fucking leg hair off.
Garrett, every time you say that, someone's got to take a shot.
Okay. I guess
because I feel like you're gonna say it a lot.
This is never an issue. I feel like on older podcasts. Maybe it's because I'm wearing shorts this time.
Probably.
Tis the season to wear shorts.
Can I try your cigar?
Yeah, but man, how awesome are shorts?
Shorts are, yeah. If you're not, I guess a lot of people, us saying this sounds retarded because they're like, duh. But we're from California. And in California, we don't appreciate how awesome shorts are, and we don't appreciate weather. But now that we live in Korea, it's cold as fuck during the winter. And so when the spring comes around in summer and you get to wear shorts, it's like amazing.
Yeah, and it's extra amazing because it's humid here in the summer, and they don't let me wear shorts at my job, which is really sexist, actually.
They don't let you?
No, it's sexist.
That's annoying.
They let the girls wear fucking they let the girls wear skirts and dresses, but they won't let the guys wear fucking shorts. I'm like, we have balls, and it's humid as shit outside. Like, do you just expect sweaty balls to be synonymous with professionalism? Because I don't.
This tastes almost flavored. It tastes like
fucking good.
It's like sweet cocoa. Wow, I've never had a cigar taste like that before.
What'd you do to my cigar? It's not burning straight? Yeah, this is good as always. You just derailed my whole story.
But yeah, you have to wear pants.
Yeah, I have to wear pants, which is stupid.
It sounds, I have to wear pants.
I like to wear shorts. It's not like I'm wearing cargo shorts and a ripped up tanks, faded army camo pattern T-shirt.
Were your boss was like a colonel or whatever in the Korean military?
No,
right?
he's the owner. I fucking almost never see that guy, but he was a colonel in the Korean military.
Yeah, so maybe he's a stickler for dress code, probably. And he probably is like, we don't wear shorts in the military, so you can't wear shorts in my fucking...
He does dress nice, which is funny because he doesn't speak any English, even though he owns an English-speaking school. I mean, he speaks like a couple words here and there, but like Korean traditional culture is you have to, you got to appreciate and acknowledge the seniority of elders or anybody who's older than you for that fact, even if it's like just a friend that's like 1 year older than you have to address them that way. And this guy's a fucking former colonel and the owner of the school that we all work at, and he's an old dude. So we all have to pay him a ton of respect. And that gets awkward when he's trying to get you fucking super drunk and then at the same time trying to speak to you in broken English, and you're trying to be respectful, but you're also like, I have no idea what you're saying to me. Like, what? And then, like, we try to show him how to shotgun a beer. Whoa. Whoa, was that a disaster. Trying to show the colonel how to shotgun a beer. God, that couldn't have gone worse, honestly. Let me take a drag here, and then I'll get into it.
Showing how old is he? Is he like old?
He's got to be like 60.
60-year-old, retired, military colonel from the Korean military, learns how to shotgun a beer for the first time.
Well, he's like, it's Way Chic, right? The company dinners?
Way Chic, yeah.
Way Chic. So we were at a Way Chic. This one was actually a special Way Chic. It was like a company retreat where we all stayed in one big-ass log cabin outside of Seoul. And we did a bunch of productive shit during the day, but then afterwards it's like, all right, dinner time, let's get wasted. And I can't believe how much this guy drank, because they did like 5 hours or so of us like doing a presentation and productive shit. And then all of a sudden they're like, all right, you guys, you need to write up some like strategies for how you're going to approach different levels of your job and stuff like that. And so they left all of us employees to do that for like an hour. And then the supervisors, they all left. And then they came back fucking wasted. And then
supervisors
they came back fucking obliterated. Like, and then like the colonel was just drinking with the other supervisors. And he doesn't come back, but our main supervisor comes back, and she's like, "Okay, so like, what did we learn? Let's break it down. Like, who's got some strategies? Here's the microphone." And we're just like, all of us are just like, "What?" And then you could see her being like, "I'm too drunk. Fuck, I'm too drunk. I'm too drunk." Like you could see she was already like fucking like, "Oh God, I'm too drunk." We haven't even started dinner yet. The Way Chic hasn't even started. It's like fucking 7 o'clock.
So all the teachers are doing lesson plans and all the bosses are getting wasted.
Yeah, they're wasted. And then we have to talk about all of the lessons, and the supervisor's like coordinating this, but she's also derailing her own thoughts and the whole fucking thing because she's drunk as shit. It was fun. But then we went to dinner.
Love Korean culture. Gotta love it.
But then we went out to dinner, and the colonel was the grill master. And
did he do a good job?
I think it was a little dry and a little too much pepper, but he was the boss. So
yeah, so it was great.
He's just like, I am. He's going up to the Korean teachers. How's that saying shit in Korean? And they're like, he is the best chef in Korea. Like he is the best grill, and we're all just like. Nay,
he's the best.
And he's like feeding us with his hand, like feeding. He's like, here you go, like fucking shit, like putting it in my mouth and like shaking my head and shit. Like this guy's drunk, and then like he's sitting at the table with all of us English speakers. Hair like, anyways, and he's just like we're sitting there, we're talking, and we're just like trying to talk to him and stuff like that. And we had some good little conversations. He had one of the Koreans translating. He told us how thankful he is and all of his generation are for America for like assisting them, and like South Korea wouldn't be a country without us. The younger generation of Koreans seem to think America is like the problem for some reason. It's like
they do.
It's like, look, I'm all about hating America when we do something stupid, but like you're like one of the worst countries to fucking make that point, because you wouldn't exist without us.
The Korean War was like, it was like one of our few, like, not necessarily one of our few, but it's one of our, I would say, best moments when it came to fucking saving the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and
what was that?
if you really know like the story of the Korean War, it's fucking crazy. It's insane. The Korean War was a hard fought war that most people have no clue about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
lot
which is
of
super sad.
A lot of, and it wasn't just a U.S. Like I've had, like this isn't something I bring up with Koreans, and I'm like, hey, like you owe your country this. I don't fucking bring that shit up. I have moderate intelligence enough to not do that. But I've had Koreans come up to me and say in their own way, like I love America because like of what you've done. And then I've also had a younger generation of Americans when I just try to say like America, like I was trying to tell a Korean girl, like I'm as an American, you're kind of torn with what we've done wrong and stuff like that. And there's a huge culture to fucking only shit on what we've done and act like we're the worst country in the world. And from a historical context, I'm looking at other superpowers in history. And I'm just like, I'm kind of proud that we haven't done more fucked up shit, because it seems like there's no way to be a superpower and not do all kinds of fucked up shit. Yeah, like they throw us in the same boat as colonialism that was popular from Europe. I'm just like, we were way better than all the other ones. Like all these other ones, like look at what tiny Belgium did in fucking Africa. Like
chopping off hands, gotta get that
look
rubber.
What Spain did, fucking Christopher Columbus Day, woohoo! Like all the conquistadors. Like I feel like we've done terrible shit that like I can't be proud of. But one thing that I can be like, I'm happy we did that was the Korean War. And I brought this up with this one Korean girl, not throwing in her face, not like I'm just saying like that's something I'm happy that this country's awesome. I like being here, and
I'm happy this country exists.
Yeah, like I look at what fucking North Korea is like, and I just feel bad for all the Korean people up there. And she's just like, I wouldn't be so happy. Like fucking America did this one thing that was super fucked up. They killed a bunch of innocent people. And I'm just like, huh? What? Why haven't I heard about this? Like I feel like on this topic I know a decent amount. She like brought up some article. I read it. We were losing a battle, like a very crucial battle. Americans were dying, and it wasn't just Americans. It was a United Nation effort. You know what I mean? Like people think like, oh, America's fucked up. You killed a bunch. We started a war in Korea, and it's like no. It was a United Nations. There was like 16 plus nations there with us. It was just mainly U.S. forces. Because
we responded to North Korea invading South Korea.
Yeah.
And when we got here, South Korea almost did not exist.
Yeah, and in hindsight, like this, like never before have you ever like people are just like, oh, like you make a mistake and be like, see, look, you shouldn't have done that. And it's like, all right, Captain Hindsight. Well, you can't even do that because Captain Hindsight shows, look what North Korea turned out to be. Like it isn't one of those moments like, oh, you're fighting the enemy and then look, they turned out great 50 years later. They turned out still fucking terrible. But anyway, we totally got off topic from the Colonel at this way sheet, but she tried to point out like, I want to be proud about what America did. And I'm just like, the first thing I read in this article that was supposedly gonna fucking blow my mind and make me rethink about how I think about Americans' involvement. The first thing it says is atrocities were committed by both sides, the South Korean army and the North Korean army. I'm just like, so the South Korean army committed atrocities, the North Korean army committed atrocities against their own people, and an American in this one crucial situation, one commander was a little like off the cuff. He was told, I'll give you the sum up story. Essentially, there was battle lines where there's a huge battle front between the North and where American lines and the Chinese or North Korean armies, and there was fucking refugees, civilians, just all over because their homes have just the battles just engulfed their whole fucking town and their home. So there's refugees running all over the place trying to get out of the way, like through the front, the battle front, like tanks, machine gun, artillery going off. There's fucking civilians running everywhere, and we're losing this fucking battle, and like forces are trying to like help these refugees get out of the way and get into like trying to help the refugees come to our side. All the refugees, they're running from the fucking north trying to get south. And one commander, because we're losing, was just like, look, no more fucking refugees get through here. We're fucking losing the battle right now. No more refugees. No more saving refugees. They have to fucking sit this one out and wait for this battle to finish. And one commander took it as just fucking shoot a bunch that kept trying to come into battle. A bunch of refugees try to come into the front, and he's just like, shoot them. We can't take them in. Like fucking, and that was just one commander. And it was fucked up from what I read. But dude, it wasn't like she tried to spin it as like, yeah, Americans don't even care about Koreans. Look what they did. Like they're fucking racist. I'm just like, the article that you sent me starts out with the South Korean army committed atrocities. It's like, are you trying to say Koreans are racist against Koreans? You know what I mean?
It's so much more complicated than.
I'm just like, there's no ethical way to fucking rage a war. How about that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, too many people are too black and white, too simplistic. They don't understand how complicated this shit is. But
anyways,
and I'm not going to pretend like I know all the intricacies, but I do know it's complicated.
I wasn't there. I just know that South Korea is fucking awesome. North Korea is fucking crazy. And so I'm happy the way it turned out in the long run, at least for the South Koreans. And I see why the colonel was fucking like he was fucking very serious. He's like, I am so grateful of America and I love America. And we owe everything to America. And he just like was fucking brutally honest. You know what I mean? And so I was just like, that's cool. So we went from like there to like him feeding me to like force feeding me alcohol. And then one time it was just kind of quiet and we're just fucking drinking our beers. And then he was like, like fucking bang the table. And then like one of the Korean teachers, she like pokes her head in. She's just like, he is angry that none of you guys have poured a drink for him right now. He's angry that you guys aren't drinking faster and that you haven't asked to drink with him, the colonel. Like, yeah. And so we're just like, oh, fuck, yeah. Shit, let's get some drinks. Beers. Like, you know what I mean?
Colonel wants us to fucking
The colonel wants to get fucking drunk, and he's already wasted. And then I had the fucking bright idea because they had nothing but shitty canned beer. And I was just like, has he ever fucking shotgunned a beer? And then he's like, I was like, have you ever like fucking cracked it and shotgunned a beer? And the Korean teacher like explained it to him. And he's like, no. And so we got this idea to do that. And he's just like, all right, let's do it. And we're like, all right, we gotta like go outside. And he's like, let's fucking do it. Let's do it fucking right here. I'm just like we're at the dinner table inside. I'm like, we can't fucking we can't have 5 guys shotgun a beer right here. So I'm like trying a disaster. I'm trying to get the Korean teachers to tell him that we need to do this outside. And eventually do it. And then the supervisor's just like, all right, we got to get the new secretary to film this. So she's like getting the camera, and she's like super professional secretary. She's like, all right, here's your beers. We need cameras. Here's some napkins. We want to get some beers. It's just like, it was like an event.
Napkins.
You know what I mean?
Such a girl.
I was just like, does anybody have any keys or scissors? She's like fucking on it. She's like, here's the scissors. You know what I mean? I'm just like, sweet. It's like I got a fucking servant.
It's so funny. Whoever thought, before I do this shotgun, I need a napkin.
Yeah.
You know, I might get beer on my hands.
Yeah. I'm not smoking enough. It's going out. But I'll let it go out while I finish the story. Essentially, we go outside, and I'm trying to like poke holes. And then Andrew is supposed to be my backup, trying to help me like pop the cans, and he's just a fucking amateur. Like he's doing a shit job, like spraying himself a ton, like as he's doing it. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, am I the only one who's like, I'm trying to share with him like an American tradition, but I'm the only fucking guy who knows how to do it proper. And so like I'm having to like poke all the holes for like 5 fucking people, and the colonel, so we give him the first one because we want to be respectful, and he's just sitting there and he's just like, wow, let's fucking drink. And I'm just like, 1 second, I gotta fucking poke. He's like,
chill, you alcoholic.
Let's fucking drink. Why are we waiting around? And it's like, because it's like quiet. There's no music. We're in the fucking dark outside, and we're like, just
this is so not
we're just
the scene.
all watching me poke holes into fucking cans.
He's like, the energy is fucking dying.
Yeah, and so eventually he just like he like plugs the hole. And just starts fucking shaking it. And it's like, no. And it just starts spraying beer everywhere from the hole. No, I fucked it up. The first thing is Andrew like tried to give him a can and be like, all right, now you got to like poke a hole into it. And then like you poke the hole and he's just like, okay. Pokes hole, just sprays him like right in the face. Just head snaps back. You know what I mean? Everything.
Oh God, this is his boss.
This is the colonel, the owner of the store of the whole school. Head snaps back, covered in fucking beer, just like fucking beer all over his shirt. And it was just like, now wait. And then I think that's why he was so antsy. He's just like, that was embarrassing. Now let's all just sit here and watch Garrett poke holes. Embarrassed. He's like, when are we just gonna fucking drink? Like, why is this so complicated? He's thinking. So he like starts shaking it and it sprays it. We're like, nah. And then you got 5 guys being like, no, 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 no. It's like not the energy he was looking for.
He's like, dude, I thought it was like a champagne deal. We spray each other.
Yeah. And then I was just like, all right. So then I got all the beers. I was just like, all right. So we got the beers. And then we're like, all right, what you do is you open this in as you chug it. And he's just like, huh? And he's just like, just fucking drink. And we're just like, all right. And then so we're just like, all right, cheers. We like do like a kumbai, like kind of holding the beers, cheers. Yeah. And then me and Andrews go like, knock it down, throw the beers on the ground. And then he's just like didn't pop it or anything like that. So he's just kind of like just fucking drink, and it's like pouring. He didn't pop it. He's just trying to drink it out of the hole, and it's pouring all over him. And then we're just like, we're all just like, no, and then we're like trying to get him to camera, and then he's just like, he like cracks it and then pours it more on himself through the top this time, and then he just like takes like a swig and then throws it down. It's like half of beer still on the ground, just like the biggest mess ever.
He should have just done one. So he could watch.
Well, he saw us do it. He was just too drunk and antsy. He like wasn't getting it.
Oh,
but
man,
it was a disaster. And I want to see the video.
Yeah,
she might have deleted it, but it was fucking funny. Like I'm sitting after the fact, I'm with Andrew. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, that was so awkward. That couldn't have gone worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, I haven't shotgunned a beer in a while.
Yeah, neither have I. That was the first time in a while.
Yeah, fucking. Cigar smoke, drinking culture in Korea, it's ridiculous.
But yeah, Aurelia had a good time. And,
yeah, I think I'm trying to get my buddy Tommy Stoner to come visit. I'm trying to get just so many people. You try to tell them like fucking come to Korea, it's awesome, and they're just like yeah,
Anthony. I'm like,
yeah,
dude.
they just don't get it. They don't understand how much fucking fun they would have if they came. You know what I mean? Like. We would show them all the fucking sights, and we'd show them like the nightlife. And if you're American and you come to Korea, the nightlife will just blow you a fucking way.
Even if you're from a big city like LA, the nightlife blew me away.
It's on a crazy another level here because none of the bars close until 6 o'clock in the morning, sometimes even later.
Yeah,
I remember drinking all night, and then. We're all hungry because it's 7 o'clock in the morning. So we're like, let's go get some samgyeopsal, which is Korean barbecue. So we're eating samgyeopsal at 7 in the morning. By the time we're done, it's like 8. Walk out of the restaurant. The sun is up. And I still see Koreans fucking pouring shots of soju and saying like, cheers, cheers, doing shots of soju at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
After drinking all night long. And I was just like, what the fuck is this culture? This is so not like acceptable or even remotely close to a thing in America. No way.
And it's not just on the weekends, man. I went out for a couple drinks with coworkers last like Tuesday, and I'm walking back through the Daechidong Strip, which is like, it's like there's like 3 main nightlife districts in Seoul, and they're always popping like on the weekends and shit. But then you forget, like I literally was forgetting, it's like every little town has a nightlife
has
strip.
A strip, yeah.
And so the local Daechidong Strip here, which is just a bunch of restaurants and bars, stuff like that, Tuesday night, fucking at 11 p.m., it's just raging. People are walking everywhere, fucking drinking out on the streets and shit. It's like the Daechidong Strip on a fucking Tuesday is more poppin' than like the Santa Monica bar scene on a fucking Friday.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And this is like this isn't even like a nightlife strip. Like if my friends are like, "What are you doing on Friday?" Just going to the Daechidong Strip, they'd be like, yeah, you gotta take it easy.
Yeah. Meanwhile, if our American friends came and visited, they'd be like, "Damn, dude, this place is crazy."
Yeah,
you're like, nah. Wait till we go to like a real party district. You know what I mean?
It's because what Americans don't realize is everybody in Korea lives with their parents for the most part, And so everybody goes out because you don't want to stay home. And also you can't have, because you live with your parents and you live in apartments, you don't really have your friends over to your house. Like there's no like hang out at my house.
Yeah,
really.
House parties aren't really a thing here.
Yeah, everybody goes out. Like that's the thing to do. And it's fucking dope. And also there's cabs.
And you could do it on a budget too, because soju's cheap. Soju's the number one spirit of Korea. And for a bottle of soju's like a little bit less than half the strength of vodka or, any spirit, but it tastes like vodka, so that's why everyone compares it to vodka. But it's a little bit less than half the strength of vodka, so you can just do shots of soju for days. And you feel like invincible because you just do a shot, you're like, I don't really feel it. You do a couple more, you're like, okay, I feel a little bit, and then pretty soon you're hammered and you're like, whoa, how did I get so drunk?
Yeah, and you're using your white privilege. I've met so many Koreans that they have like that intolerance to alcohol or something, where just a couple shots of soju will fucking do them in.
Well, some Koreans, and then I know some other Koreans who are like, I could drink 3 bottles of soju. I'm like, what? You could drink 3 bottles of soju? 2 bottles of soju.
Well, so can I, but I'll just black out.
Yeah, but like...
I can drink 5 and then puke and die.
Puke everywhere.
Yeah. I'll wake up kind of in the morning.
But anyway, like a bottle of soju, they're small bottles, but a bottle... I mean, they're shots. You don't. It's not like a mixer or anything. But a bottle at a restaurant is $2. Maybe $3, but most of the time it's $1.50, $2 at a restaurant. So, and you can get it basically the exact same price at a convenience store. So I don't think the restaurants make any money on selling soju. They make money. No,
they make as much as the convenience store.
No, they make as much as the convenience store, but they make most of their money with food. So the thing about Korea is like there's not really like a bar scene in Korean culture. Like all the bars, like when you think of a bar, like that's a Western thing where you like go there and you only drink and you just walk around and meet people. That's a Western thing that's new. Well, it's not new to Korea, but it was introduced to Korea since Westerners came here. But like Koreans, they usually just drink when they eat. And so they just eat and drink and eat and drink. And then a lot of the times they want to keep drinking, but the restaurant is like you have to order some sort of food because they don't make enough money off selling soju because like I said, it's so cheap. So a lot of times you just order the food, but you don't even eat the food because you just want to drink more. You know what I mean?
Everyone just eats slowly.
Yeah, you just nibble at it, but like you don't really. You just have to order something because the bar doesn't make any money.
Yeah.
So yeah, Koreans, they usually sit down with their friends at a table and they just do soju shots or drink beer or somek, which is mekju, which is beer, and soju, which is soju, and you mix them. So mekju, mekju and soju together. But yeah, so that's Korean drinking culture.
And they got karaoke.
Yeah, and then they got noribongs. Karaoke is Japanese. In Korean is norebang. Nore is song, and you could say, and then bong is room, so norebang, so song room. So yeah,
I really had such a blast when we went noribang, and that was the first time I've been noribanging back in Korea,
which is crazy to me. Why did it take you so long?
Because you haven't since I've been back in forever.
I'm always down. I'm always down in noribang.
Yeah, but it can't just be you and me singing to each other. I mean, it could, but that's not really what I'm looking to do on a Friday night.
It's weird as Chris has been here so long, and he's like, noribang, yeah.
I'm like, what? Dude, I don't know what it is, but I meet a bunch of Koreans who are like, oh, you're going to go to noribang? I'm like, what the fuck? You're Korean.
Are you even Korean? Next, you're going to tell me you don't drink soju and you don't fucking eat kimchi.
Yeah, like, it seems to me like most of the Korean chicks I meet is like, noribang? Why? I'm just like, what the fuck?
Maybe it's an older generation thing. I don't know.
Maybe. I think
maybe those girls just don't know how to fucking have fun.
I think what it's become maybe to the younger generation is like noribangs are often a front business for like prostitutes. So like,
that too.
Yeah, and so they think like, oh, you're gonna go to noribang, meet some fucking girls. I think it's quite common for like Wei-Shiks or like Korean companies to get a bunch of the like business guys have like a way chic dinner, get wasted, and then go to a nori bong and hang out with some prostitutes and see where the night takes us.
Maybe it's more of a dude thing. But my girlfriend Lily, she loves it.
Yeah, I've never had a bad time.
She just wants to go with other girls. She doesn't want to be the only girl.
Yeah, and that's I don't want to go nori bonging if it's just like a group of the guys. It's like if we have like when we went with our rally, it was like I had our rally. What is it?
It's fun, just a couple of dudes. I've done it. I've done it. Just like, hey guys, like let's go fucking nori bong. Just like me and like two guys, or just three dudes in a room singing some songs, getting drunk. It's fucking fun. It's like, I mean, is it really that different from playing like, garage band? I mean, someone's got to sing on a garage band. It's just some friends.
It's actually way different, Gavin.
I mean, there's no drums and there's no guitar, but I mean, there's still.
Hey, I'm sure it'd be fun.
It is fun. I mean, especially if we all have like girlfriends.
Yeah.
And we're just like, we're not really trying to meet chicks. Like this is exactly the reason why I went. It was like, I had a girlfriend, but she wasn't there. And Jake, he had a girlfriend, but his girlfriend wasn't there. And then Jake's friend, I forget his name. I only met him twice, but it was a long time ago. But anyway, he was there too. And at first I was like, okay, do you guys want to meet chicks? Like meet chicks. But I got a girlfriend, so I'm good. And then Jake's like, oh, I got a girlfriend. And I was like, okay, well, meet some chicks. And the guy's like, yeah, I'm just not really into it. I'm like, okay, well, we could just drink at a bar and not do anything at this bar besides drink, or the three of us could go to a nori bong.
Yep.
And then we were all down, and we had a great fucking time. So, yeah. Don't judge me, motherfuckers.
I'm not judging. It is just kind of funny. It's just like, what'd you do last night? Oh, me and a couple of guys.
Me and a couple of guys went
got
to a nori bong.
and sang to each other.
Yeah.
I killed a Frozen soundtrack.
Dude, fucking a whole new world from Aladdin, man. Like I was the girl because I could sing high, you know.
You know when I knew I was gonna be good friends with Chris for real? When Chris was a good guy. But when we were in Japan and when we went to the karaoke room in Tokyo, you had drank way too much and decided to call it early night.
I didn't even drink that much. I was just exhausted. I think that was like day 4. And I think it finally was like, I'm really tired. I'm going to go to bed. And it's not like I went to bed at 10. I went to bed at like 2.
Well, and you have a girlfriend, and there was just two Japanese girls that we met.
Right.
And so you and Adam left. And you guys actually dodged a bullet because if you guys came, it would have been so expensive. It was totally overpriced. By the way, guys, karaoke rooms, nori bongs in Korea are very cheap and fun and awesome. Go to Japan. They're everywhere, and so you think, oh, it's the same culture. It's going to be cheap and fun and awesome also. Nope. We dropped more money at the fucking karaoke bar when we were at the karaoke room there than if we got a fucking table at the hottest club.
Jesus.
Like, me and Chris spent like $240 for like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of just him and I and 2 girls.
I didn't know you really
we
spent
got
that much money.
Over
Jesus Christ.
with no lube.
But like me and Lily and Lily's Japanese friend, when we were in Tokyo, we went to a karaoke room. It was really small, but like I didn't feel like it was any different price wise than like a slightly nice.
Maybe it's because we went to like a cool one on the Roppongi Strip.
Yeah,
in Tokyo.
I feel like that you just got fucked at a specific, a special like ultra expensive one. Most
like
of
they
them
told
aren't
us the
that
price. I'm just like, all right, $24. I get it, cool. And then Chris was like, what? Huh? Because Chris speaks Japanese, and I'm like, this much. And he's just like, that can't be right. And I'm just like, what? 24 sounds right. Like that sounds right. And then I was just getting, I was getting the zeros wrong. And he's like, no, it's 240. I'm just like, excuse me, what? Sorry, what?
$120.
I'm expecting to spend $24. Not $200.
Not $124.
Like, imagine if you go and you're like, oh man, I could really use a bottle of water right now. How much is it? It's like, all right, here's $5. You got some change for me? They're like, yeah, that no, I don't, because it's not $5. It's $65 for a bottle of water. Yeah, that's like the feel. I'm just like, what? Like, I'm like, do we need to get the cop? Like, immediately, I'm just like, let's get the cops in here. Like,
call the cops. They're trying to
scam us. It
was
ridiculous.
Speaking of Japan.
I forgot, though. I knew Chris was going to be a homie when he put on Aerosmith. I don't want to close my eyes. Is that what the name of the song is?
The Armageddon soundtrack.
Yeah. I was just, and like, literally, I'm just like, this fucking song, I hate this fucking song. And then there's an extra microphone, and I'm like, actually, I know the words.
I think I do know the words.
And then I realized how fun that song is to sing.
Yeah, you're like, I know all the words because of all those times I was mocking the song that I actually know all the words. It's like the movie.
It's also so easy to memorize those words. They're like super simple and basic and repetitive.
That's straight out of The Other Guys with Mark Wahlberg and what's his name, Will Ferrell. But it's just like, yeah, like it's not even that hard. And like Mark Wahlberg, he's like getting angry at his girlfriend, and she's like, he's just like this ballerina shit. It's not even that hard. I mean, like, look, and he like does it, and they're like, wow, that's like actually really good. How do you know that? He's like, yeah, because like we would go and we would like watch the class, you know, to make fun of like faggots and stuff. I mean, it's so easy. Like he like is following all the steps and he like gets it down. He's like, yeah, just so I learned it just so I can make fun of like the losers, you know.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen that movie? I don't think I've ever seen the whole movie through, but I just remember that part because I'm like, that's pretty funny.
I don't like how you said the F word.
The F word?
I'm triggered.
Triggered? Yeah.
Yeah, you should have trigger warned me there, Gavin. Jesus.
Speaking of triggered, but before I get off topic, bringing it back to Korea being a great fucking time, we've been to Japan. Like, I've been to Tokyo and Osaka and Hiroshima and Fukuoka. You've been to Hiroshima and Tokyo.
Yeah. Going to Okinawa.
He's going to Okinawa.
Fucking Matt is coming here for the 4th of July.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he's coming here for 4th of July. And then I'm going there August, like, 1st and 2nd.
We got to do something with him, with a bunch of American military dudes for the 4th of July.
Dude, and he's not just in the military. He's an officer. So, like, when he was here, he's like, yeah, I'm staying on base, but he's like, I'm at a 5-star hotel on base. Like,
yeah, but is he under curfew?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's
even when he's off duty, he's under curfew.
That sucks. See, that's exactly why I'm not jealous. Because all the military guys in Korea, they're under curfew. So if they get caught by military police, they're in a shitload of trouble. And they're not allowed. It's kind of like they have a curfew, but they give you loopholes so you can get out of it. It's like you have to be back before 9, or you just got to stay out all night. You're like, oh, well, twist my arm. I just got to stay out all night. But you have to stay out all night and not get caught.
We'll just go somewhere else. He's Asian.
Yeah.
He'll blend right in.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on his haircut, but he's Asian, so I'm sure
he's a tan. He's I think
a couple times I've been.
He's like He's traditionally he's got like Chinese heritage, but I think he's Canadian.
Like, see this haircut now? My hair is a little bit longer now, but when I first got it shaved on the sides, me and Chris were at Thursday Party, which is a bar in Itaewon. And a military police guy, I'm at the bar, like ordering a drink, and a military police guy was like, "Excuse me, can I see your ID?" And I was like, "What the fuck?" And I turned around, and it's a military police officer with like 2 other military police officers behind him, just like backing him up, like, "Yeah, you better fucking show him your ID," like just like with like stern look on their face. I'm just like, what? I'm like, I'm not military. He's like, "Can I see your ID, please?" I'm like, I'm not military, but there's my ARC card. And he's just like, "You have a good night." And just like walked away. And I was just like, yeah, I'm not too surprised because just got the side of my head shaved.
Can't you just be like, I don't need to show you my ID. I'm not in the fucking military.
Well, I mean, I don't want to be a dick. Because I get it. I was like, yeah, I get it. We're in Itaewon. There's a lot of military. There's a military base right in Itaewon. And I had just cut my hair. And I was like, I don't need to be a dick. I got my ID right here. He's just doing his job, you know? So
yeah, but
can you imagine how shitty that job is?
Yeah, the worst.
Being a military police in Itiwan, everybody's
like going
partying.
to all the clubs, like walking around like the clubs.
Yeah, everyone's partying, everyone's drinking.
And everyone's looking at, be like, look at these fucking assholes.
Yeah, everyone's having a fucking great time. And your job is to ruin the party. And it's like, yeah, no one likes me all the time. So I was just like, you know, I'm not gonna make a scene. I was like, yeah, I'll just show them my ID. You know, I respect the military. And
I respect the military, but I would be like, I'm a teacher, so no, I'm not in the military.
Yeah, but that's based. I didn't say that because I didn't want to argue with him. I was like, I don't really need to argue him. I could just show him my ID, and he'll get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, if I was in Hongdae, I mean, they don't. The military police don't go to Hongdae. They mostly stay in the Tijuana.
Yeah, I was gonna say we got to take Matt to Hongdae.
Yeah, we got to do that virtual reality. Yeah. Holy shit, virtual reality. So just like we were saying, there's nori bongs, which is singing rooms. There's now virtual reality rooms, which is fucking the next level. Like,
yeah, I haven't been yet, but I'm sold.
So goddamn fun. It's $3 for 10 minutes, which seems a little expensive, but I mean,
bullshit. There's arcade games that are way more.
Yeah, I mean that's true. Like I get my own room just by myself with goggles and controllers, and
going to the arcade. The game. Yeah, playing a modern arcade, like a brand new arcade game, is going to be more than that.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I thought it was worth it, but some people are like $3 for only 10 minutes. It's like, well, you know, it's only, you know, what, $18 compared to like a PC bong.
How much did we spend to air tunnel to when we were skydive training for 1 minute? It was like what, $50?
No, well, not for 1 minute. It was like, I think it was.
I'd drop hundreds of dollars for like 3 minutes.
It was, it was $20 to do one jump, and I want to say it was.
You mean in the air tunnel?
No, it's $20 for lift to pay for fuel to fly an airplane to go up to do one jump.
But that
didn't. I mean, plus rentals, and you'd have to pack your shoes.
And that was also after you got certified. I'm talking about just air tunnel time.
Yeah, I mean,
I remember it was like $50 a minute almost.
No, if it was $50 a minute, then it would be way less cost effective. I remember it was cost effective. I remember it was expensive, but I remember if you want to get good at skydiving, you got to do air tunnel time because you'll get so much more practice as opposed to doing actual skydives.
Maybe it was like $30 a minute. Because
I think it was like $30 for like a couple minutes.
I think we did like 10 minutes one time, and it ended up costing me like $300.
No way.
Yeah, because I remember being like
$300. No way. No way.
It was 10 minutes. That was like the equivalent of 10 jumps.
Yeah, but even $300. I mean, you could do 10 jumps for. I mean, do the math. Like, it was cheaper. It was cheaper than doing real jumps. I remember it was cheaper than doing real jumps.
Not by it was per minute, but I'm saying like it was still a fuckload per minute.
Anyway, it was expensive, but
it was cheaper because you didn't have to buy rentals. Rentals were like $100 almost.
I think it was 70 to 90, something like that.
Yeah,
for a whole day.
Yeah, but we'd only get like 3 jumps in a day because we'd pack our chutes slowly.
I think once we did 4, but yeah, that was rough. That was a long day.
Anyways, I derailed you. But yeah, the virtual reality room, totally affordable.
Virtual reality room is amazing. That's going to be next level. We got to do that shit more often. And that's only going to become more and more popular. And that's in Hongdae.
What was the objective of the game that you played? Like, how was the game?
Okay,
and how did you link up with Lily?
Okay, so it was me and my girlfriend. We did it. And they put us each in our own individual rooms. It's a small room. But they kind of like put padding on the walls because when you got these goggles on, you can't fucking see anything besides the game, right? Mm-hmm. And in the game, it depends on what level you're on. But the first level is like a desert scene. So you put the goggles on. They give you a controller in each hand. So you have 2 independent, guns. So you could be like shooting
triggers.
Yeah, like they're triggers, but you could use them for all kinds of things. It's basically just a controller for each hand. Mm-hmm. In this game, it was a shooting game, so each controller was a gun. And you put the goggles on, you look around, and you're like, I'm in a desert. You can do a full 360. You can walk around the room, and in the game, if you got close to the actual wall in the room that you're in, there'd be like a red lined grid to kind of let you know, like, you're going to bump into a wall, you know? But, I don't know, I bumped into the wall several times because basically the game is waves and waves of monsters would attack, and you have to shoot them before they kill you. And some of the monsters, they wouldn't run at you. some of them would just hang back and like shoot things at you. So you'd have to shoot them, or you shoot the things that they threw at you or shot at you. And so like they're like harpies like flying above you. There's like scorpions racing at you. There's like big scorpions. There's little scorpions. There's like lava monsters throwing lava at you. There's like zombies. There's these crazy kamikaze zombies where they have bombs in their hands and they run at you and they're screaming. They're like, ah! And they're like running at you and blowing up in your face. And they're coming at you in waves. So they start out and then it just progresses and progresses and progresses till pretty soon you are just like shooting everything. Like you could buy different guns and stuff. And so you start out with pistols, but then you get money and then you could buy like fucking machine guns. You could buy like giant chainsaws. And so by the end of the game, I had these 2 humongous miniguns, like the spinning, like what are they called? Rail guns?
Rail guns, yeah.
Yeah, I had 2 rail guns in each hand. And in the game, it's like 9 feet long. So it's like you got these it's like so like disproportionate to reality. You know, it's like I'm this buff dude with these humongous guns, right? And there's just so many monsters attacking me. I'm just like, shooting everything, right? And like as they're shooting you, like you can shoot the thing out of the air, or you can dodge. You could dodge the missiles. So I'm jumping all over this goddamn room, ducking under missiles, jumping over missiles, dodging them. So this is why you have your own room, because if you had someone in the room with you, you'd be crashing into them. So they put my girlfriend in another room, and then they gave me like a headset. And then with the headset, I was able to talk to Lily, my girlfriend. So Lily's in the same game. So like in the game, I'm looking over to my left, and she's standing right there with me. But in the game, she's like some big buff dude. I was like, come on, man! Like,
where's the cute, sexy girl avatar?
Why don't they have like a girl avatar? As if like only guys play this one particular game. I'm like, come on! Like, is it really that hard to have 2 avatars, like a girl and a guy? Yeah. Anyway, so like Lily's like some giant buff dude, and she's in the game with me.
That is awkward. You're like, get over here. Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, and she's like, baby, and I'm looking over. It's like some big buff dude, you know, shooting guns. But like, it was so crazy. I couldn't believe how terrifying it was. Like, I put the goggles on. I was like, okay, whoa, this is so immersive. I'm shooting things. I'm looking up, and then like instantly these zombies start running at me and start screaming, and then it's like full 360. So if there's one coming from the side, like you hear it coming, like it's like quiet and it's getting louder and louder and louder. And you're like, oh shit, where is it? And then you look over and he's like right on top of you, and it's like a big. And in the game, like they're not like human sized. They're like, they could be humongous. You know what I mean? They could be like giants. You know what I mean? And like you have to like look up to see them. You know what I mean? It's so crazy. Like me describing it, like you can never understand unless you do it. It's insane. It's the future, man.
That sounds so fun.
I was so impressed and blown away, and I was so immersed in the game, like instantly. It's like you instantly forget about your body. Like it's like the second those goggles come on and you got the headset and you got the guns, it's like you're in a different fucking world. It was amazing. And the second my girlfriend put it on, like she was waiting for me to get into the game. But so she put it on. We waited like 20 minutes for the rooms to open up. We pay the money. She puts the headset on and she looks around and she's like, I want to quit.
Why?
Because she was scared. Like she was just like, this is weird. Like, where am I? This is scary. I want to quit. And then like they put the headset on and I was like, Lily, can you hear me? She's like, oh baby, there you are. And I was like, what? She's like, oh, this is so scary. I was like, wait, the monsters haven't even come yet. She's like, I know, but like, it's like, where are we? Yeah. It's like, and then the monsters started coming and I was like, I was so invested. Like I couldn't believe how invested I was.
That sounds so fucking awesome.
It is so fun. And like some of the games are like horror movie games. Like this game wasn't even a scary game. Like they have ratings on like easeability on how to play. Like the controls are easy, the rules of the game are easy, and then they have certain games that like the rules are really complicated and there's a large learning curve, and then there's games that are like, okay, scariness it's like a 2, or scariness it's like a 5. You know what I mean? We did like I think a 2. I want to do a 5. Like after doing that, I was like, holy shit! Like I want to do a scary video game, because when we're waiting for the rooms to open up, we can just hear girls just screaming. They're just like, ah, 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 ah. Like you just hear.
It's like you entered a
It's like a goddamn.
What happened?
It's like a sex dungeon or something.
Yeah, you just hear rooms of people screaming. Ah!
Yeah, you just hear girls losing their minds.
And then you get some like kind of dominatrix with black lipstick figure, be like, your room is down this way.
Yeah. It was weird.
Follow me, please.
Can you top me off on water? But yeah, so virtual reality rooms, they're amazing, and there's only going to be more and more of them.
We should invest.
Yeah, Lily and I were like, man, just think of the virtual reality porn brothels. Like virtual reality porn, that's a game changer when it comes to like just think about how big porn is. And think about how big just think about how big, prostitution is. Now there's a loophole for all the countries where prostitution is illegal, but like a prostitution brothel, but it's all virtual. Like that means it's legal. Like any country that allows porn, you could have a virtual reality brothel. So you go in, there's gonna be all these fucking machines, and it's not gonna look inviting. But there's gonna be like dick machines. There's gonna be like heads, with their mouths open that you're like supposed to just like face fuck, but it's like just a head, and it's like, what the hell is this?
You'd have to be like. You have to write the programming of the script to be mapped in the game to the room. So it's like you like walk in, like you put the headset on before you walk in. Inside the room's just a bunch of like sex insertion toys.
Yeah.
And then you like walk in and it's a bunch of girls in the game who are like on their knees, like, hello, sir.
Yeah. But if you took the goggles off, you're just in a room with random ass contraptions.
All right, we just lost our 2 female viewers.
Yeah. Like it's coming, and it's gonna be a game changer, because every single country, can do it as long as they allow porn. You know what I mean? It's gonna be quite the cleanup, but you get some.
It's gonna be so much job.
I know it's gonna be so much job, and you're gonna go into there and you're gonna be thinking like someone's dick was. But I mean, I'm sure you'd have like your own sanitary, like, it's like you change out like a syringe every time you give someone an injection. You change out all the different mouth holes and the pussy holes and stuff like that for all the machines, so that it's fresh and clean for you. But
whoa,
dude, it's gonna be crazy. And like your wildest fantasies, your wildest, most crazy fantasies will be there. You know what I mean?
And then you have the whole just like, all right, the freak meter. Like, this is a 2. All right, you want to go 5? We'll get you a 5. You know what I mean?
yeah. And you're gonna have like, do you want tranny? Do you want like fucking fish? You want to fuck a fish with huge tits? You want like they're gonna have like monsters.
Who's your favorite Overwatch character?
It's gonna be like, you want to get fucked by Bigfoot? Do you want Bigfoot to fuck you? Or like, do you want to fuck the Bigfoot? You know what I mean? Or do you want the bull?
Do you want it to be?
Do you want to get fucked by the centaur? You know what I mean?
Is it gonna be? Do you want a bear Sasquatch, or do you want like a sexy Sasquatch?
Yeah, or do you want like the centaur, or do you want the mermaid?
Oh man,
you know what I mean?
Oh shit, yeah, mermaid.
The mermaid.
That's gonna probably be a whole genre now.
Oh yeah, definitely, dude.
Video game characters, obviously.
All the video game characters ever created. It's gonna like the menu like is just gonna be endless. People are really gonna be addicted.
Yeah, that's gonna be a problem.
You think people are addicted to video games? You think people are addicted to porn? Wait till they're the same goddamn thing. You know what I mean? Like, goddamn.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy.
The future's
dude. What if like while you're in the room? So this is how we take it to the next level. Like, all right, you said the scare meter is at like a 2 to 5.
Yeah.
And you know how like movie theaters have 4D where they like spray you with smoke and shit, like when shit happens in the movie. in a 3D movie with 3D goggles. What if like you're in a room and you just have you have a device on your head, so your eyes are already protected, and every time you get like slashed by a monster, you get shot by a paintball gun.
Or you just get zapped or something like an air cannon shoots you in the chest. Yeah. Just to be like
yeah. Fuck.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's going to happen. Dude, they're going to get crazy. They're going to be like, okay, why does it have to be only sex? Like you're going to go in there and you're going to have like a sexy colleague and you're going to do like a running shooting zombie game, and then you're going to like kill all the zombies, and you're going to be like, wow, we really had a connection there. And then you're going to like it's going to turn into virtual reality porn. And then right after you finish, it's going to be like fucking zombie wave attack. And then
meanwhile, you're on the comms and you're fucking your friend who's in the other room.
You're doing pillow talk, and then zombies attack, and you got to fucking shoot off the zombies. But like you have a connection to the girl because you survived that battle. And then it's like the survived zombie battle sex, you know.
You're right.
It's going to be nuts.
You're right.
It's going to be insane, man.
Oh, you are right. The future is weird. I'm intrigued. I gotta check it out.
Dude, we're all gonna remember. Lily and I talked about this. Like, we all remember the first time we played like a video game. We all remember the first time we got our first cell phone. We all remember the first time we got our first car. We all remember the first time we drank our first beer. We're gonna all be talking about the first time we tried virtual reality. Like, oh yeah, my first virtual reality. Like,
psych, we're all gonna remember the first time you got fucked in the virtual reality.
The first time, the first virtual reality experience. Like, we're gonna be reminiscing. Like, oh man, back in 2017 was the first time I tried VR. Here we are, 2035, and look how far it's come. Like, I was so impressed with VR in 2013. Now the VR nowadays is just like, wow, the 2017 VR was ridiculously lazy. And
then sure enough, 2040 rolls along and we don't have VR anymore. We got Westworld.
Which, yeah, it's coming.
Yeah.
It's fucking coming, man.
God damn. How interested, like, how amazing is that show, Westworld?
It's crazy.
And how awesome is it that they just teased that there's going to be a whole nother park that's samurai themed?
Yeah. Did you know that was a remake, Westworld?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, dude. Like, whoever came up with the original idea, I don't know when they came up with it, but it was old. Like, I want to say, like, 70s.
Really?
Yeah, and it was old. And in the original, I don't know if it was a movie or if it was a TV series. Mm-hmm. But in the original, like, they openly talked about multiple different worlds. Like, Westworld, then there's, like ancient world, which is like your Roman or Greek, and they had all different kinds of worlds,
different parks
in the original show. So they're drawing it out more for the HBO series. But
dude, I
gotta use the restroom.
Dude, like I saw the samurais going at it.
I was like, what?
And I was like, oh shit! Like, because that was just like they just got into the other wing.
Yeah, they're like, where are we?
Yeah, and it's like you find out like, oh, the Westworld isn't the whole park. You know what I mean? Or it isn't like what the park is going to get stuck at. Yeah, if you haven't seen the movie or the show Westworld on HBO, I'd put it in the top 5 best shows ever made. And it's, yeah, you just got to check it out. Shows that are just coming out. Gavin, you know, the next season of House of Cards just dropped. Yeah. F is for Family just came out. I got to check that out. Season 1 was awesome. Bill Burr is an amazing comedian. The guy, like there's, like, everyone's like, oh, you like stand-up comedy? What do you think about this comic? And it's like, you know what? I hate him. You know what I mean? Everyone's on, well, I don't hate him, but I just don't find him funny, and that's the whole point. So, yeah, there's nothing there. Like Kevin Hart, he's so fucking big. I watched his latest special. I could not be more let down. You know what I mean? Like, the intro was interesting. They spent like probably $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. They probably spent like $10 million on the intro to Kevin Hart's latest special. Did you see it? You didn't? The latest special is they spent like the intro to his special was like a full Hollywood production. It's like James Bond kind of themed.
Yeah, check
where
it
Kevin
out.
Hart's like a secret agent, and it was really well done, really well scripted, and all that shit. And then they finished that to like they got Halle Berry in there, a bunch of like big actors are inside the fucking intro to his stand-up special, and it was really well done. But then his stand-up actually starts, and he's like doing a stadium. It was like a record-breaking, like the largest stand-up show ever. It was like a whole football stadium.
This is for his latest special?
For his latest special. It's on Netflix. Check it out.
Whoa. Football stadium?
Yeah. But then it's like I'm watching the material and I'm just like, yeah. His style of comedy is just not, it's too acting heavy. Like it's too like, energy, And then like some of his jokes were way too drawn out and like silly. He's like, I can't be with the bitch who got no shoulders. Like, so she'll be with the dress and she can't even shrug. I can't be with the bitch that can't even shrug. I'm just like, and then like, I'm just like, all right, this is like a shitty premise. And then 10 minutes later, I'm like, get off the like, I can't be seen with a girl with a bum shoulder. I'm just like, dude, that was a really tough sell when you first started it. And 10 minutes later, you're still drawing this premise out. Like, is that really the best you come up with? Is how like no one ever thought about having a girlfriend with a bump shoulder. Well, here, I'll dive into it and see all these flaws you didn't think about. It's like, that's not that clever. And it's still stretched. Like, I think if a girl's hot as fuck and on her like even after his point has been thoroughly made, I'm still just like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know if I need a girl with big shoulders.
Like, meanwhile, Jim Jeffries points out, he's like, how do fucking blind people wipe their ass? Because you wipe and you look at the toilet paper, there's poop. And you wipe again, there's no poop. And then you're done. You know what I mean? How do blind... It's like, it's a visual process. And you're like, yeah, you're right. I never thought about that. Kevin Hart's like, yeah, you never thought about you had dating a girl with no shoulder. And I'm just like, yeah, that's not that big of a deal. Like, you know what I mean? And then it's like 10 minutes later, I'm like... And it's so acting heavy. He's like, and it's like, I don't know. It's just not my style.
I've seen some of his specials and I thought they were funny.
I watched 2 of his now, and
I would say
not
one of his bits I thought was hilarious when he was talking about crazy girls when they're in mid crazy, they do this head side to side thing, and like I thought it was kind of funny because he was acting a lot, and I don't know, it just was funny to me. But then it got more funny because, like, only a week or so later, some girl was being all crazy and she started doing the head side to side. And I remember I watched it with my friend Jessica, and then Stephanie started doing the crazy side to side head movement as she was going off on you. She was off on you about India. You and her were arguing about India. So, I don't want to rehash the Indian argument, but like, you were basically agreeing with each other. Like she was crazy attacking you and agreeing with you at the same time. It didn't make any fucking sense. And as she's going full blown crazy, she's like, I think I would know what I'm talking about. And I looked at Jessica. I was like, she's doing the fucking head thing. She's going crazy. And her and I both just had like an inside joke, just roar of laughter. We're like, she's doing the fucking crazy head side to side thing.
Let's sum up the gist of that argument, because it's fucking hilarious.
Can I get some of that? I'm done with this beer.
Why don't you drink my shitty whiskey? Because I got plenty of that, and I got a little bit.
I don't want to drink another beer.
All right, I have a whole cabinet of whiskey in there. Why don't you grab some of that? The gist of that argument was she went to India. And she told a horror story where she, this is Gavin's former coworker, crazy white hippie girl. And, why you got to hate on hippie girls? What's wrong with the hippie girl? Well, let me just finish. She went to India, and there's always this thing. She's like, yeah, the crazy hippie types, they always want to go to India. To them, that sounds like the best ever. And I'm just like, I'm not sold. I'm not sold why I need to go to India. There's definitely going to be some cool shit there. But there's cool shit in a lot of countries that aren't fucking like gnarly fucking like covered in poverty and shit like that. And I'm not the kind of guy that needs to be pampered. Like, I don't need to fucking stay in nice hotels when I go out. The place I stay is like the least interesting part of vacations to me. But my whole point was just like, yeah, India sounds interesting, but you know, I've talked to several people who've been there, and the stories that they tell me usually sound terrible. And it's like to them, it was like this big adventure because they're so terrible. I'm just like, that doesn't sound like an adventure. That sounds like fucking insane discomfort. Like one girl was telling me how she was there for some festival where they're just singing and dancing all night, and then it started raining. And she's like, I was probably dancing and drinking and in the rain of just like human shit and piss for like hours all through the night, and it was amazing. I'm just like, doesn't sound like it. Doesn't sound like it
Human
was
shit and
amazing
piss?
at all. Like it's like
Jesus
this
Christ.
crazy festival song thing through like these fucking ghetto slums of just people in poverty don't have toilets and shit like that. She's like, but everyone was singing in the streets and it was amazing. Like then it started raining, and you know then there's a lot of like probably it's probably human shit and piss because there's like human shit and piss everywhere because there's no bathrooms. And then it was all kind of raining and pouring, and so it just became like a sludge everyone was in. And I'm just like, that doesn't sound good at all. That doesn't sound great at all. And then Stephanie's story that night when I met her was, she's like, yeah, India's great, except for you gotta watch out. It's poor. Like I got like the worst food poisoning ever. Like I thought I might like fucking die.
Or what is it? Dengue fever.
Dengue fever. She's like, yeah,
Could
like
be saying that
for a
wrong.
second I might die. She's like, yeah, it was super horrible. I felt so bad. It was like. And I'm like, well, what did you eat that caused that? She's like, we just ate some vegetables that were on the street. And I was like, why would that cause such a problem? She's like, well, they wash the vegetables in the local river, and that's what everyone shits and pisses in because they don't have bathrooms. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't need to go there. I don't need, that doesn't fucking interest me. And then it turned into in her fucking crazy liberal mind, like, what are you, racist?
Yeah.
Like that doesn't sound fun to you? What are you, fucking racist?
You're racist, yeah.
100%.
100%.
Like you think you're above them? Like, I'm just like, no, I like literally, and this is what triggered her. I said, yeah, and this is after she told that hard sell of a story, like why you should go there. It's like, just because you tack the word amazing on the end of a terrible fucking story doesn't make it actually amazing.
Everybody goes there for yoga retreats, too.
Yeah, I could watch yoga on YouTube.
Well, and the yoga retreat, Lily was like, "Do you want to go to India to do yoga?" And I watched the retreat video, and it was like, we have Wi-Fi, we've got mosquito nets, we've got a spa, and I was just like, okay, it sounds really comfortable in the yoga area, like, are we ever gonna leave the yoga area? Or are we just gonna go to India to stay in this little yoga area? Or are we actually gonna go see India? And I'm like, no, we're probably not going to go see India because, I don't know, we're just going to do yoga all day. And I was like, I don't know if I need to go to India just to do yoga.
I've heard some fucking horror stories.
Oh, yeah. I've heard
horror
so
stories.
many people talk about food poisoning. I got food poisoning once I've only had food poisoning once in my entire life, luckily. And it was in Thailand on my last fucking day, which really pissed me off because I had a great time. And then Friday night, get food poisoning, and it was miserable. I'm up all night long, throwing up and shitting my brains out,
puking, shitting, sweating,
just utterly miserable, and then utterly miserable the whole next morning and flight home. And everybody, and I'm talking everybody that goes to India that I've spoken to, they got a horrendous food poisoning story. And I'm like, you know what? I've done the whole food poisoning thing. I don't need to do it again.
Especially when it's like guaranteed. It's like if it's guaranteed food poisoning, I'm out.
I mean,
you know what I mean? I'm out.
I would say, like, I've known people who went to India and didn't get food poisoning, but they still have a horror story about food poisoning because, like, their friend who they were with got food poisoning.
Yeah.
It's like, so you went and you were good to go, but your friend was sick the whole time and you had to go to the hospital because your friend was throwing up for 2 days. You know what I mean? Or some shit like that. So, I mean, and that does happen in Southeast Asia. I've heard a lot of people. That
happens whenever you travel most places, but it's not so guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean, in Southeast Asia, like, don't eat beef when you're in Southeast Asia. Don't do it. They're not known for their beef for a reason, okay? I ate a burger, got food poisoning in Thailand, and then my girlfriend had a burger and got food poisoning in Vietnam. So when you're in Southeast Asia, don't eat beef. That's my word of advice.
Yeah. But anyway, Stephanie, she got all triggered at me because essentially I said, India, there's definitely some amazing shit there I want to see, but there's just so many other places I want to see more that I don't know if I'm going to ever get there. That was enough to, in her mind, justify fucking making me out to be some kind of racist.
Yeah, and her...
I was just like, what?
Her argument of why you're racist didn't make any sense.
Did you not hear your own story?
Yeah, her argument...
we ate the vegetables.
Yeah, but then
they wash in their own human shit water in the river.
And then you said something about women's rights, and then she lost it.
Well, then I
told you how bad the women's rights are, and I'm like, isn't that what he said? Like, you're just like agreeing with him, but you're attacking him and agreeing with him at the same time. Yeah. It didn't make any sense, and that's when she started doing the head thing, and I was like, this is just fucking nuts. Can we just watch Game of Thrones? Because that's what we were doing. We were in a group about to watch the season finale of Game of Thrones. Segue, meanwhile, the new season of Game of Thrones is coming out real soon. Do you know when?
I know it's supposed to come out summer.
The trailer,
I think June.
The trailer just for season 7 just came out.
There was a few teasers that
dude,
were...
I don't understand how these people are alive today, but I just met another girl. Mm-hmm. Some would call her basic.
Basic has been used before to describe her.
She's a basic girl who's like, yeah, Game of Thrones, like, never really saw it. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then their argument doesn't make any sense. Their argument is, well, it's just like, it's so good, I hear, that I just know that I'll just watch it and it'll just be a problem. I'm like... So your argument is it's just too good. Like, it's such a good show that it's a problem. So you're going to play it smart and only watch shitty shows that you can't get addicted to because the shows are so shitty. Great, fucking, can I get a standing ovation for that logic? Okay, let's be smart about this. Let's use our brains and let's only watch shit television because that way I won't get addicted to it because it's not that good.
Okay, so this is what I...
Doesn't make any fucking sense.
This isn't the first time I've encountered that.
Our own father used that logic.
Yeah.
I was like, Dad, what the fuck are you talking about?
But I don't think Dad that is his actual logic. For other people, what I think it actually
That was
is,
this girl's argument too.
Yeah, well, I think that's her argument, but I don't think that's what's really happening for most of these people. And this is what it is people, they don't like to be late to the bandwagon.
Right.
And if something's too popular, they're like, I'm different. Like,
it's true. They don't want to be trendy.
They what do they sort of be like? Oh yeah,
trends.
Like it's really popular, but like I don't want to be that person who just jumps on the bandwagon that everyone's talking about. And because it's popular, it's already has a distaste. People like to discover their own shit.
They're hipsters, yeah.
It's like if you tell someone, yo, you got to check out this movie, or you got to check out this band, or you got to check out anything, people are already, it's like there's a certain type of person who's just like, nah, I'm not interested just because you're recommending it. You know what I mean? Just because they only like things that they discover.
I think...
And then they can tell their friends about it. Because they know they're not going to be able to watch Game of Thrones and then be like, holy shit, it was amazing, and then recommend it to everybody because they relate to the game. And to those kind of people, that's the biggest thing. Being the person that's in the know, the person that's ahead of the curve, who could then recommend their friends on shit. They're like attracted to finding some new show that they discovered that then they get to tell their friends about that they have to see. That's what they want to do.
Yeah, and I think you're onto something, and I think that could have been this girl's exact argument, but the reason why she didn't take that route was because as I'm describing to her how fucking awesome Game of Thrones is, we're in the break room, and all the other teachers are like right there with me. They've all seen the show, and they're all caught up, and they're all like, yeah, super fired up for season 7. So she didn't want to go that route. Like, yeah, like she didn't want to, like, everybody likes the show, so I shouldn't shit on it. So she was like, it's just too good. It just sounds like it's going to be too good, and I'll just get addicted, and I just don't want to get addicted to good shows, so I'll just watch bad shows.
Well, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, you don't have to binge watch them, but if you do, you know what? Worse things have happened.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna have a great time, and you're gonna watch some good television.
There's also
Not just good television, but television history, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The way I describe it to people who haven't seen it, and there's a lot of Koreans who haven't seen it, is that I'm just like, this show isn't like, people think, oh, it's super popular. Like our friend Dimitri, he's a smart guy, and we grew up making movies with this guy. So when it comes to like film taste and like great quality films, he's right there with us in the discussion for most of these great historic movies.
He's a filmmaker, so he takes film serious.
But he didn't want to watch Game of Thrones because it was so popular, and he was late to the bandwagon.
Yeah.
And his arguments was, it's got to be made for the masses, and so that's not appealing to me because I like only the shit that only really intelligent people like.
And I was like, no.
Anything that's made for the masses is immediately like a red flag for me. I'm just like, no. It's not made for the masses.
This is the exception.
Yeah, this is
is like made for like a small audience, and it's so good that the masses just
they jumped
on it.
Yeah,
they jumped on a good thing.
Like, this isn't fucking Guardians of the Galaxy, like puns here and there made for the masses with just a lot of fucking eye candy explosion CG and then shitty light comedic relief.
They do throw boobs in there.
I'm like, yeah, and that's
all the time.
People are just like, they're like, oh yeah, it's just a fucking
boobs.
It's just a bunch of boobs and fucking mass-produced writing that just gets you on the edge of your seat always. And it's like, no, you don't get that. Like, to just get somebody on the edge of their seat isn't just like a fucking easy trope that writers use. That's you have to do good shit to get people on the edge of seat. You have to really surprise them. You have to really shock them. You have to really make a good show for people to be on the edge of their seat.
You have to do something different. You have to do
something unique. People act like that's some fucking like, oh yeah, just make like a top 40 fucking great song, just to get people to spend all their money and just like, it's not easy making a great fucking song either. You know what I mean? Just because like that's, people do the same shit with music. In fact, people do shit like the same thing with music even more because people in their music, they think they're such a unique individual. They put their whole identity, especially younger people, they put their whole identity in the genres of music that they listen to. It's like, I don't like deep house progressive. I like only dubstep, hardcore house. So
I like EDM hardcore. But
yeah,
you're just like, what did you just say?
We clearly
you're
are in our own circles.
Language.
You should check out this band. Yeah, you haven't heard of them, but they're great. You might not have heard them. They did play Coachella, but they played in the small tent, definitely not the main stage. Like, whoever went to the main stage missed out because they're not in the know like me. So you should have checked them out.
Yep. Sounds like a lot of people have.
Yeah. The people that just hate something because it's popular really grinds my gears. But yeah, same dude, in theater school I had the same fucking issue. People were like, what's your favorite show or what's your favorite play or something? I'd be like, Phantom of the Opera. They're like, oh, Phantom of the Opera guy. And people sleep on that shit because it was so successful and it's so like such like a staple in the modern musical. I'm like, so the people who haven't seen it, they think it's just like just a big blockbuster musical. I'm just like, no, that shit was a unique story. Like, that shit was a very unique, untraditional story that really fucking blows your mind. Like, it's really fucking really not normal as far as like how, like, in Act 1 this happens and then at the end the good guy fucking wins. It's like it is not textbook successful. You know what I mean? It is very, very alt successful, but it became so successful not because it was made for the masses, but because it was fucking made really well and the masses jumped on, and that's why it's fucking good. And that's what's with Game of Thrones, I think.
Dude, House of Cards, F is for Family, Game of Thrones. Obviously, I don't think F is for Family is on the same level, but it's still a good show that I'm looking forward to.
It's a different genre. It's
totally different. It's
really
comedic
animation
cartoon,
for adults. Sorry.
Anyway, but yeah, like Game of Thrones, House of Cards, Vikings has got to be coming out soon.
Vikings is fucking good.
Vikings is insane.
Good. They need to wrap it up soon though, because I think if they start to get any more, if they go,
I don't think they're gonna wrap it up. I think they're just gonna start introducing new characters and stuff.
Well, I'm telling you, like something can be great to an extent. Like Game of Thrones is already pushing. It's already too long for it to be almost great. It is great, but it's already. This is like going to be the last season.
And I think there's 2 more. This one and one more.
The point is there's already an end coming, and that's going to be it. It's going to close the book, and it's going to be a body of work that's timeless.
I think this season's going to be all about all the families battling it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the last season is going to be whoever wins of all the families battling out. The last season is going to be fighting the White Walkers. So I think this season's going to be this. I think still the White Walkers are going to be like, hey, we're coming. But like,
Yeah.
they've been doing that ever since the fucking first episode. But like, I think the last season's going to be the White Walker battles and whatnot.
Is this season a full season, or is it like
I think it's only 7 or 8 episodes.
All right. Yeah, God, I'm looking forward to it. It's so good.
It's still 7 or 8 hours, you know. It's not.
It's weird to me, and I've met so many chicks. By the way, what are we doing on time? Do we have enough time? Are we running out of time?
I don't know.
How long has this been? Just wondering.
I have no idea.
We got to wrap this up by like an hour 30. What is it at? Does it say?
I'll get back to you. What were you saying?
Well, it's weird to me how I meet people, and it's usually women that are like this. They're not interested in history, and I think that's also a thing with Game of Thrones. It's not that it's history, but like one of the selling points people make, and me one of them, is that it reads or views almost like you're watching history, and it's because J.R.R. Martin? Yeah, J.R.R. Martin was such a huge history buff when he formulated the whole concept of the show.
Based off the War of the Roses?
Yeah, it's
I think.
Yeah, and clearly it's got a bunch of different cultural influence in history. It's got maybe some Roman, Julius Caesar kind of, definitely some Roman.
It pays many homages to historical
history,
events and historical cities and stuff, you know.
And that's a huge turn on to me for obvious reasons, because it's grounded in a reality that I can relate to. And you explain that to some people, and a lot of them happen to be women. It's just like, I hate history, or I'm not interested in history. It's like, why not?
Yeah, why would you use that as a selling point?
Why not?
I would never use that as a selling point unless I was talking to some history buff guy.
What? Why wouldn't you use it as a selling point?
Because I know that's not going to get him in. If my goal is to like put down your silly ideas of what you think the show is and just watch an episode or two, and then come back to me if you're not hooked or whatever. But like, if my goal is to get someone to watch the show, I'm going to do a read on that person. If they're a girl or if they're a guy who's not really jiving well with history, I'm not going to use that. Like, it's really similar to history. I wouldn't use that.
Well, I mean, it's also, when I bring up that point, it's a broader sell on why people should be interested in history.
Yeah. I know I'm going to lose that argument. I'm going to use that. I know they're just not interested because they don't know how good it is. So what you do is you get them to watch the show, and then after they watch the show, then you could talk about the history, and they'll be into it.
Because easier said than done. They might not watch the show in the first place.
Well,
But like me, I was talking like this is based off this kind of ideas based off of a few conversations I've had with a few different women. But like, for instance, one Korean girl I know, she was a film critic major, and I'm talking to her about why Game of Thrones is so awesome, because one, it changed the whole film industry and the television industry, completely changed the whole thing. It's like, why? And I give her all the points. And I'm like, well, why is it so good? Well, it's because it's based, even though it's a fantasy if you have to put it in a genre, it's a fantasy, but it's so untraditional from fantasies because it's grounded in reality. And why is it grounded in reality? Because it's grounded in real history, and it's grounded in realistic human beings and realistic characters. And then this chick, even though she's a film critic, she knows that this is one of the greatest shows and most popular shows ever made. Couldn't be more disinterested. In fact, the fact that I said the word, it reads almost like history in its amount of realism and relatability. It's just a turnoff. My dad likes history.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly. I'm not surprised. I'm not saying she's right. She's clearly needs to rethink her opinions on history. Maybe her dad's got good taste. You ever think about that?
Maybe.
Yep.
Maybe you shouldn't be so opinionated, just women in general or people in general who are really opinionated on social issues or the states of political issues. Maybe you shouldn't be so opinionated if you don't have a grounding in history. It's like history is mainly, like when you say, obviously everything is a history. If you want to look up the history of fucking can making, there's going to be a history to it. If you want to look up the history of fucking your favorite anime genre or the genre of films that you like, everything has a history. But if you're going to take like a history class, usually it's going to focus on cultures, war, rise and fall of empires,
politics, economics,
how things got to be the way they are now, cultural shifts,
religion, a lot of religion.
That's what it's going to focus on. And all these social people are interested in like social justice and stuff like that, or the states of religion and politics. Like they want to be educated in all these matters. They have very strong opinions to the point where they fucking hate you if you disagree with them. It's like, but they don't have any basis or even interest in history. It's like, why not? And I think it comes down to like a founding where people think, well, this is different because we're more evolved now. And it's like, well, you don't know the history of you don't know the way evolution works, and you don't know the history of the way humans have evolved, because humans aren't still evolving in the way that they think they are. Humans, as we know them, are exactly the same as we've been from the beginning of human history. You know what I mean? Like, people be arguing about...
In many ways.
Yeah. In many, as far as intellectual capabilities. Like, people, they're arguing with me like, yeah, well, the states of us dealing with other religions and other cultures is different now because of this. Or the situation with us dealing with religion and politics is different nowadays because we're fucking in 2017 and we have technology. It's like, yeah, you know who was arguing about all these things minus Twitter? Were the fucking ancient Greeks. 100, 200 years before Christianity was even a religion. They're having the exact same argument about the validity of gods and how they should be affected in government, and the pros and cons to democracy, to the pros and cons of socialism, the pros and cons to monarchy. The fucking ancient Greek philosophers were arguing the exact same arguments and much more intricate than even I can say it right now.
Yeah, like
hundreds of years before Christianity was even a religion. And, you know, to all these people who they like to think themselves super educated and super high opinionated, that is not interesting to them. They don't even want to look into it.
Yeah, well, it's annoying. Yeah, 100%. I think we should wrap it up. But yeah, if you ever heard of a guy called Socrates, he didn't write much shit down, but one of the things that we do have written down was his trial when he was charged. He was convicted for corrupting the youth by basically saying gods don't exist and gods are just a way of controlling the masses from the elites, or the
religion is just a
religion, yeah, in general. But I mean, he was talking about the gods, you know. But yeah, he was basically talking about the same shit. He was talking about religion. He was talking about control over the mob, and when you read the trial, which is all written down word for word, it reads just like fucking the shit that we're talking about today.
2017 lecture argument debate
in a college classroom or even in a actual 2017 trial?
He was just an old man, and I even heard he was a pedophile. He likes fucking young boys, or like Plato and Aristotle. Why would I look them up? They're misogynistic. They look down on women. It's like, right. We should just discredit everything anybody ever said unless it's in 2017 context, as far as
With our
fucking agenda and morals and stuff like that. That's another thing you should probably look at history for, is the way that you see how morality changes drastically, culture to culture, time period to time period, all that shit.
My favorite thing is, like, you'd be talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger and how he knows how to, fucking... Or you're talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger as motivation for lifting weights, or are you talking about how Arnold Schwarzenegger knows how to put on muscle, or his philosophy of gaining weight, and you're talking about in a fitness bodybuilding context, and then it's like, yeah, but he's a fucking asshole because he cheated on his wife. You're like, dude, that has, like, I get it, he cheated on his wife, but, like, we're not talking about is he, like, a good person or not. We're talking about fucking building muscle. We're talking about being a bodybuilder. We're talking about being motivated,
productive,
having a routine that's gonna lead to a great career or whatever. You know what I mean? Why do you got to bring that up? Or like people talking about Floyd Mayweather. We're talking boxing. We're talking boxing, and someone brings up Floyd Mayweather, and we're talking about how good he is, and they're like, yeah, but Floyd Mayweather's a piece of shit because he did this. You're like, that has nothing to do with boxing. You know what I mean? We're talking about boxing here. like why you got to, virtue signal? There's no chicks around. Why are you virtue signaling? It's just the dudes. You know what I mean? Like, we know he did those bad things, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about boxing here. We're talking about lifting weights here. So why you gotta bring that up? Like, you
take a fucking philosophy,
virtue signaling motherfucker.
Take a philosophy class, take a debate class, and learn how to fucking argue. If you're trying to have productive arguments, which we all should be aiming for, to learn something in every conversation we have with somebody, you learn. One of the first things you learn is fucking. Don't just try to blanket discredit the guy's opinions. It's like somebody who has got a great opinion on some, like, for instance, on that Rogan episode of where what's his something Hancock? What's his name?
Graham Hancock?
Yeah, Graham Hancock.
Yeah, I think I'm saying that.
Graham Hancock and the other guy.
I don't know.
Anyways,
the other guy.
But they're talking about ancient civilizations, and these skeptics were on the show kind of debating him. And he's talking about, well, you didn't openly disagree with this other guy who's got some crazy theories about gravity, and he clearly doesn't understand Newton's law of gravity, blah, blah, blah. And so we can't take you as a serious scientist about this culture because you didn't right off the bat disagree with this other guy who said some other crazy shit. He's like, I wasn't talking to that guy about gravity. I was talking to that guy in his research about this culture. But why are you so concerned with just blanket discrediting me? That is so counterproductive.
Yeah.
Like, you're just trying to associate me with somebody that's easily marketable as not logical, or you're just trying to attach me to somebody else that's easier to discredit and then discredit everything I have to say. Why? We're trying to fucking learn shit
instead
here.
of actually listening.
Instead of actually listening to me, or instead of actually listening to maybe this guy's point on this area of his study, you're just gonna be like, well, he doesn't have a good reputation because he said this one thing and you didn't disagree with him, so you're an idiot. We don't need to listen to you. It's like, well, you're an idiot who's holding back the productivity of this conversation. And there's so many people, even in the highest institutes of science and medicine and fucking politics, who they're not interested in actually getting anywhere. They're just interested in being right. You know what I mean? And I'm interested in being right if I'm right. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what it is. I feel like you and me have maybe it's because we grew up in two different families, one Republican, one Democratic. I'm not on a fucking team. I'm on just the fucking good ideas, bad ideas team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so this blanket, and also I took a philosophy class. So this blanket discrediting tactics that has become way too common ground with liberals these days. I've known since the second I stepped into adulthood as being like, that's not productive, and that's not how you're supposed to argue. And even if you're a UCLA professor, why are you doing it? That's fucking juvenile fucking bullshit that the sophists did when they were arguing Socrates, and we all know that's not productive. And you've been doing that for fucking thousands of years now. You're the fucking people holding the conversation back. You're the kind of people who are holding back the progression of society.
Right. Anyway, we got to wrap this up.
All right. Big fucking note.
That is a humongous rant and a half. But, you know, sometimes a good rant, you know?
Dude, this cigar is a slow burner. And I've been talking a lot, but this cigar is burning slow, and I don't want it to burn too hot because it's fucking delicious.
I'm going to finish this up. We're going to finish that up. And, yeah, have a good weekend. It's our Friday night. Get after it. And don't turn your brains off. Those are my wise words. We're going to leave.
Whoa.
All right. Peace out.